Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm home relaxing and I am watching Club Shay Shay, which is, Shannon Sharpe's YouTube interview platform, where he interviews all people in entertainment, not just in sports. It's not like whatever he does with Ocho Cinco, but, it's a little more interesting, a little more in depth. And Shannon Sharpe is interviewing Katt Williams. Okay, so you know who Katt Williams are. He is a renowned, yet very controversial comedian who, he was in Friday After Next. He's had countless stand-up comedies, which I enjoy a lot of them. So, but he's known for roasting. He was on what radio show was he on in Atlanta? Was it whose was it? Was this Ricky Smiley's? I forget, when he roasted old girl to smithereens. But anyway, Katt Williams is on Club Shay Shay doing the interview. It dropped today. And everybody's been talking about it on social media like crazy. So I was like, okay, I like Katt Williams. I love comedy. I love to laugh. Let me go and check this out. Y'all, if you have not seen this interview, you need to go and watch it like pronto, like right now. This man is frying everyone. Everyone from Steve Harvey. He's going in hard on Steve Harvey. Cedric the Entertainer. Who else? Faison Love caught a stray. He clearly has issue with Ricky Smiley, which I had no idea the beef that they had. Kevin Hart. But let's talk about Ricky Smiley. So apparently, and then y'all, he said that Harvey Weinstein offered to suck him off in front of a lot of people like back in the day, which is nuts. So this is the thing, right? First of all, I didn't know. We know that, Katt Williams has had a reputation. Again, we don't know if this is true, but it's just a reputation for being difficult, for being ornery, for being hard to work with, and for being like the outcast of the comedian community. So I definitely knew that. However, and I knew that he claimed that Cedric the Entertainer, which Cedric is one of my favorite comedians. I love him. So it's hard for me to hear Katt go in so hard on Cedric. But I did know that years ago, Katt Williams has, professed and alleged that Cedric stole one of his biggest jokes that he did in 1998 on Comic View. Now, Comic View used to come on BET like a long time ago. I didn't really know the backstory or what Cedric said, but according to Katt Williams, he's saying that years ago that Cedric the Entertainer apologized for stealing the joke. He did the joke on Kings of Comedy, which was 2 years later, which was in 2000. And, obviously as a comedian, you work hard, especially Katt Williams writes his jokes. He's saying that Cedric the Entertainer doesn't write his jokes, but he's like, yeah, I worked hard on that. That was one of my biggest jokes. You stole it. And then I guess when Cedric the Entertainer was recently on Club Shay Shay, he got up there and pretty much denied that he stole it. So, look, he's coming, Katt Williams has come into this interview like a machine gun, off the rip, not even talking to, normally interviews, warm me up, you know what I'm saying? Give me some foreplay. Let me know a little bit about your life. No, Katt Williams came in spraying Cedric the Entertainer immediately. Then he's talking about Ricky Smiley, talking about when they were on Friday After Next, because Ricky Smiley was also on Club Shay Shay. So he's taking issue with the fact that a lot of these comedians have come on Club Shay Shay and are making all these allegations that are false about him. And so rightfully so. I mean, I get him. I just didn't realize he was going to come so hard, so forceful. But he's saying that Ricky Smiley, which I've never thought Ricky Smiley was funny. He's not. He's so overrated. He's annoying. I don't like his radio show. But he's saying that Ricky Smiley, when he, on Friday After Next, he's basically saying he was supposed to have Katt Williams' role, which is crazy because, like, I will say one thing, that role, Katt killed that role. There's nobody that I can think of that can play that role to the T with the amount of, charm and wit and the amount of humor that Katt Williams, I mean, he just was the perfect role for him. So for Ricky Smiley to allege that was really supposed to be his role and just told a whole bunch of lies about the movie, Katt Williams came on here, he's setting the record straight, and he's like, no, he's lying. So y'all, and this interview is hilarious because I don't think that Shannon Sharpe was ready for this. And just his facial expressions as Katt Williams is like frying everybody. He's like, he's just like eyes wide, like, damn, and it's funny because he's trying to like divert the situation because obviously Shannon Sharpe, he wants to be Switzerland. He has this great outlet that's on YouTube. So he wants people to feel comfortable with coming on his show. He don't want no beef. And, Katt basically got at him like, why you allow these dudes to come on your show and lie? Like, every comedian that's come on here is lying. So Shannon's like, well, damn, I don't know they lying. Like, how am I supposed to know? I just provide the platform for them to tell that whatever stories, however the conversation flows, we get into, obviously as a comedian, they're going to talk. He's going to ask them questions about other comedians, right? And he's just like, I didn't know. And so, Katt was just kind of getting at him like, why you didn't say this and why you didn't say that? Why are you letting them lie on me? So then he talks about, I'm just like, oh my God. He talks about Steve Harvey. He talks about how Steve Harvey pretty much lied and said that he was homeless. And he was like, that's my story. He's stealing my story. Steve wasn't ever homeless. Steve was talking about how he never got paid. He was saying Steve Harvey got paid way back in the day, $3,000 per show. He talked about how Steve Harvey made a comment, which I did hear Steve say this, talking about Marjorie, which you should big up your wife. But he's like, Marjorie, if it wasn't because of her, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. We've all heard Steve say that on several occasions. So Katt's like, well, yeah, you said that about the first wife. So like, which is it? You just be saying stuff. Then he talks about Kevin Hart. God, he talks about Soul Plane, goes on and on about Soul Plane, about some inaccuracies that Kevin has said about Soul Plane. Then he says that none of these dudes are funny. Like none of them are, like none of them. I don't agree. I don't agree with Katt on that. I think that each comedian, except I don't like Ricky Smiley. Ricky Smiley's not funny to me, but Kevin Hart, he has his own lane. Kevin Hart, the funny thing about Kevin Hart is I actually like him when he's not in movies. I like him in roles when like he hosts different events like with Snoop, and I think that he's naturally funny like in real life, and I appreciate Kevin Hart. Some of his stand-ups are funny, but I like him in the more hosting type of thing. I think he's funny in that. I like him in interviews. That's where I really enjoy Kevin Hart's comedy. Steve Harvey's hilarious. I don't agree. Katt Williams saying Steve Harvey's not funny. I do not agree with that. I think Steve Harvey is absolutely hilarious on everything he hosts, even on Family Feud. He be having me weak. And he's just naturally funny. He's just so quick with it. So Katt, I don't agree with you on that. Cedric is hilarious. And Cedric has had very, very funny comedy specials. Faison Love, I'm not as familiar with. It seems like he has a good relationship with Mark Curry, because he mentioned, he's written different things with Mark Curry. So it seems like he's cool with him. He didn't say anything about Mike Epps, I don't remember. So I feel like Mike Epps is kind of like a renegade in this comedy thing too. So he probably has a good relationship, also being that he's, worked with Mike Epps. So he didn't say anything about him. But I just think it's interesting. Oh, he also mentioned the fact that like Steve, which I do believe this. He said Steve, Cedric, and Ricky Smiley are like a gang in the comedian space. Like they only look out for each other. They do little, underlying slick stuff together, marginalize other comedians. I thought that was interesting. I don't know if I think it's true. I do think they look out for each other. I don't even think that's a secret. Especially Cedric and Steve, they're very close. They talked. They kind of came up together, and stuff like that. But I don't know. He makes it seem like they're haters. And so, again, I don't know. It could very well be true. The way people are being exposed now, we don't know what to believe. So I don't know if that's true or not. But damn, I mean, and I'm not even done with the entire interview. I just had to pause and talk about this. I'm about an hour through this interview, and it's like almost 3 hours. Damn, Katt. Katt also mentioned, because, Shannon Sharpe was like, are you blackballed still? Like, how do you feel? Because basically, for real, like, when you are creating ruckus like this and pretty much like spraying everybody, every comedian, all the well-known comedians, because Katt Williams is saying he has great relationships. He takes 40 to 50 comedians on tour with him. So it seems as though the big wigs or the big dogs in the comedian space and landscape are the ones he's having issues with, right? But also, is it worth it to cause this type of disruption and ill will in this space? Like, because I'm certain that specifically Steve Harvey is somewhat of a gatekeeper. So is it worth it? Maybe Katt doesn't care, because Katt said his lane is stand-up comedy and Steve is not in there. And Steve doesn't do stand-up comedy anymore. I think he said this on Club Shay Shay. He said, like, he wants to do stand-up comedy again, but he's going to wait till he's done with TV, because the things that he has to say, he's going to lose his jobs. So maybe, Katt Williams might be kind of like, well, he's not a gatekeeper for me because I do stand-up comedy. He didn't say anything yet about Dave Chappelle, so I'm going to keep watching. Dave Chappelle is kind of a loner, you know what I'm saying? He's so respected that he's probably not going to say anything about Dave, because Dave seemed like he minds his damn business. He be smoking his little cigs. I've seen Dave live on stage. He smoked about 11 cigarettes in the span of an hour and a half. I've never seen anybody smoke that many cigarettes in my life. I digress, but I was just saying that to say he didn't say anything about Dave yet. But yeah, I just had to come and talk to y'all and see if y'all have seen this interview. I've been sitting on the edge of my seat like this, like, damn, like, I just never seen nobody go at everybody like this in one sitting. So yes, Katt Williams has defied gravity and all the things, and he has a lot to say. And I think people should keep Katt's name out of his mouth, because number one, he don't give a damn, and number two, if he has something to say about you, he's gonna say it. So, but yeah, y'all have a good evening. I'm gonna continue watching this long ass interview. I'm gonna watch all of it because it's that good. You guys drop down in my comments. Let me know if you guys have seen it. What are your thoughts? And as always, like, subscribe, and share. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye bye.